All right, Coach Shady Atkins here with AL Football Chat, co-host Will Johnson. We're here today for Chief Pigskin, working on the online clinic. Right now, we are sitting down with the Kirk Johnson, head coach at Montgomery Catholic. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well until the Kirk Johnson. Just Kirk Johnson, Coach J.
No doubt. Well, Coach, tell us what you're speaking about today.
Speaking on two different things. Very passionate about kind of mentoring the new guys that come in our coaching profession. It's one of them things that it's a blessing. Us coaches get to work with so many different type people and backgrounds, as far as doctors and lawyers and construction workers and killers. I mean, we work with everything. And so I want to mentor the next group of coaches that's coming behind me, just like someone did to me. So I'm going to speak on what it means to be a good assistant coach, just kind of how to go about it and understand that the grind is real and how to grind, honestly. So that's one of the sessions. And then I got conned into speaking about another session. So I'm going to do a 4-2-5-3 blitz package. We love to play man behind our blitzes. And so just the different ways to do that and show different looks while all running the same thing. So just kind of mixing that up and getting after somebody's butt.
No doubt.
Well, Coach, you just came off a great year, state championship year. Talk to us about kind of what this year was like for you guys.
Very surreal. We've been very close for a while here. I can almost probably tell you 6 straight years. My predecessor, the guy that was before me, Aubrey Blackwell, we had a couple good years right there where we felt like we were one of the better teams in the state and just never could put it together. And then I get the head coaching job, and we were the best team in the state, and still couldn't finish it. And so it was very surreal. It's a testament to a lot of different people. Our kids came together and they play hard, but like you guys are coaches. You got to have an administration that believes in that. You got to have a family community base that believes in it, and it's like I said, man, it's surreal. We worked our butts off, and standing in Bryant-Denny Stadium and finally hosting that trophy up was very, 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 very surreal.
I got to watch you guys in person this year. Obviously, the state title game against Cherokee County. Obviously, defense, very impressive performance. You're a defensive guy. Seen you play before. I think the previous year in the semis or quarters against Andalusia.
Yeah,
again,
Matt Malone.
Yeah, defense impressive though. I mean, that's a really good team with a lot of good college players, and you guys are giving them trouble. What is the secret to the Catholic defense? Why are you guys so successful?
If a coach doesn't tell you, the secret is the kids in their line. Our job is to create a mentality amongst the kids. All this scheme and ball and X's, none of that stuff really matters if the kids don't want to play for you. So you got to get them to want to play for you first. And I think our kids have adopted this mantra, the dark side on defense, and it's been like that for a while. And I got some of the stats that I put on our presentation. I can't even remember them right now, but we've played some really good defense for a long time. I think over the 10-year period, we're averaging 6.2 points a game over a 10-year period. And so and then the last 3 years, we averaging like 4.2 points a game. It's some ungodly. 43 points in 2022, gave it up all year. Last year was like 130, and then this year was 73 points all year. So we played some really, really good defense. And I could sit here and tell you, yeah, man, it's because of the scheme. Man, it's because the kids play hard and they believe in what we're telling them, and they want to, we every Sunday we going in, we highlight the best players and we give them challenges, and every week they show up wanting that challenge, and so we continue to try to set that standard and go reach that standard. When you're playing those Andalusias of the world, man, it's hard. It's hard. Keeping them under 21 is good. Matt's a freaking offensive genius, and he gives you all kind of different sets. We talked the other night, me and him, and we were just, man, those battles were like, man, I'm up all week. And so, we played some really good teams. Jacksonville, they had a quarterback that could throw it anywhere, how he wanted to, and it was hard to contain. And so, but when you're playing those guys and you're giving your kids those challenges, man, every time they want, our kids want to rise up to the challenge. And fortunate for us, of those 11 that were in that state championship game, you saw 9 of them are returning. So we're blessed. We're blessed. Yeah.
Well, Coach, one thing I like to ask other coaches, because it's important to me, what is your why? What got you into coaching ball?
It's the kids. So football saved my life. I come from a place where money isn't a thing that we had, and nice things wasn't a thing that we had, but we always had sports. Yeah. We always had sports. It's just so I grew up a baseball player, and I gravitated to football when I kind of got a little size on me. But all my dad figures were coaches. Yeah. Whether it was Pee Wee, whatever, all the way up, and those guys, they saved me, and so I wanted to be. There was never anything else I was doing. From 17 years old, I knew I was going to coach. Now, I thought I was going to be Nick Saban and, doing those things. I tell people all the time, for Halloween, I dressed up as Coach Kroom at Mississippi State. Like, that's who I wanted to be. So, the kids. So, and then you get off in the profession, you kind of fall in love with defense, or you fall in love with and then, so it all kind of became full circle. But for me, it's the kids, man. I love the kids. I love that we can use this platform to mold young men into good husbands, we hope, into good brothers, the good sons. I've said it all the time, and I go on rants, so I'm trying to stay away from it. But, man, the American male is leaving. It is leaving America, and it's our job to try our best to continue to raise up men, great men that are willing to put on a blue hat and go to work and get their hands dirty, and men that don't walk out on their wives and their kids. And so, I feel like I'm tasked with that because I grew up wanting that in a father. So I try my best to exemplify that every day for our boys.
Yes, sir.
Now, a lot of people may not know this, but one of the biggest trees in the state of Alabama is the coaching tree that comes from Huntington.
Come on, boy.
I mean, it's insane.
Come on.
I've got a lot of friends that are on that tree.
Come on.
Obviously, you're on that tree.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Man, so I tell people all the time, man, listen, I had 13 Division I offers out of high school. I know, crazy, right? 13 Division I offers, went to Stanford out of high school, and then ended up, they hired a guy named Pat Sullivan, and pretty much they were like, hey, we cutting your scholarship, right? So I was like, oh, God. So I don't know if you know, Stanford's very expensive, and I couldn't play that. So I ended up playing D3 ball, right? I'm looking at these people like, what? I will tell you this. The people in that building work harder than I've ever seen, because you got to take a guy who's not an athlete. Most of them are not athletes, and you got to make them go do something and do it at a high level. And so that's why so many great coaches come up out of there, because number one, in D3 football, you have to love it to play it. You're not getting full rides and scholarships. You might get a little academic money, but you have to love it. So number one, the people that are doing it love it. And then number two, they really truly had to dissect it and fall in love with the X's and O's and how to do the different things. And then they worked hard. In our program, we took 4 things that I thought at Huntington was very good. We're very family-based, very faith-based. We work our butts off, and we hold everybody accountable. Those are our 4 pillars in our program, and I took it directly from what we did at Huntington. And you talking Mike Rader, Derek Ansley, Jeremiah Wilson. We got high school coaches all over the place. I mean, I think they put out a graphic not too long ago. Man, it's like 50 coaches, man, and like 20 of them in college. It's crazy. It's insane. So Austin Armstrong's in D.C. at Florida. I'm blessed to be a part of it. Mike Turk and a lot of that is Charlie Goodyear as well. They do a great job, man, and I'm glad. I'm fortunate enough to say I'm fortunate to say that I was a part of that.
Coach, you're coming off the championship year, obviously, and you talked about earlier, dressing up, wanting to be Nick Saban and do that thing. How are you going to get your guys to stay on that mountaintop? How do we look forward and stay on that level?
I love that you asked that. I love that you asked that. So in 2021, we made it to the state championship. Yeah, 2021. And a guy told me, he said, everybody thinks the hardest thing is climbing that mountain. The hardest thing is staying up on that mountain. So we've prepared for this. Yes, we've prepared for this. We don't shy away from good competition. We don't shy away from wanting to continue to be the best. We sat here just a minute ago. We're playing Saraland. Yeah. Montgomery Catholic, 300 students is playing Saraland, and everybody has asked me, "Oh my gosh, y'all are playing Saraland," or "Oh my gosh, how do you feel about 5A?" And my reply is, go ask those schools how they feel about us.
No doubt about that.
Go ask them how they feel about us. And that's not a bragging thing. Yeah. That's not a cocky thing. We've created a brand that we feel we can go play with most people in the state. Mm-hmm. Of course, we don't have the Thompson numbers and the Enterprise numbers and all that. Yeah, I mean that's comical, but we feel roughly our same size, we'll line it up with you. And that's going to be a big game for us in a big stadium. And some of the things we dreamed about, when we put McGill-Toolen on the schedule, 2 years ago, there's people in my administration like, what in the world are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Well, we went 2-0 versus them,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You know what I mean? So there was times when we got a Beauregard on the schedule, and they were like, "Are y'all smoking?" You know, and so it's just the next step in the program. We can't say that we want to be this and we want to be this, and then we go, nah, man, we're gonna play blankety blank out of this town or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, no, I don't want to name nobody because I don't want to disrespect,
Yes,
but we feel like we have a good team, we have a good program. You'll find out, programs is what wins. It's not teams.
No doubt about that.
And so, we're gonna try our best to stay up there. We're gonna work like we ain't never won anything, and we're gonna continue to coach our kids like we never won anything. And the kids are hungry.
Yes, sir.
You can take it when you show back up that first day. How were they? I mean, we hadn't even had our ring ceremony. Our ring fitting. Like I totally forgot all about it because I was so trying to schedule games and get to the off season and set up this, and so that tells you where my mind was.
Well, you've had quarterback McCreary for a long time.
A dog.
Absolute dude. He's done it since he's a freshman. Beast. What does it look like after him? Not who's the kid, but how do you prepare that next kid?
I've got asked this question a lot, and so I'm gonna try to give it to you the best I can. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We have about 3 options. One of them I don't want him to play it at all because he's so dynamic with the ball out in space. He would. That's what Caleb would have been if he would have played his position. We have a young guy that's probably going. He has an opportunity to break every single record Caleb set. He's very talented. He hadn't lost a game since he's been in a Catholic jersey as a 7th grader, and now he's coming on up. So we're gonna be fine. We just got to figure out how to continue to run the dang football. I tell people all the time, when you hire good coaches that I feel like I got one of the best O-line coaches in the state. I feel like I got one of the best OCs in the state. Our staff is phenomenal, man. Our staff is a lot of camaraderie. We hang out all the time. We joke all the time. And so that makes showing up and going to work a lot easier. When you work on staffs that aren't fun, you don't really want to be around there.
Yes,
And we all know what I'm talking about. So we're going to continue to that makes all that other stuff you just asked easy. It makes getting the quarterback to come on and grow and stuff like that. It makes it easy.
Yes, sir. But as you go through this offseason and continue on, Coach, what are some of the things that you're studying? Who are you studying to continue to grow, obviously, but just maybe for the program, but even for yourself?
Me?
Yep.
I pay attention to everybody across the state. Not a big Twitter guy. I'm trying to jump on the chat thing, but Jimbo hasn't shown me. But I pay attention to everything. Here a thing that I struggle with is all the social media stuff. But I love what a lot of people is doing. Moody has one of the best. Yeah. They always putting out content and different things. And so I just got to watch from afar. We're going to do what we do as far as X's and O's. Because if you try to pull here and pull here, you really don't have an identity. So we're going to do what we do. Of course, there's going to be something we like and we might, try to add it to our arsenal. But I pay attention to everybody, man. There's so many good ball coaches in the state of Alabama. Yeah. And I would tell you that 90% of them aren't even head coaches. Some of them, are guys that you're just looking at the little rural school, and he's doing a phenomenal job, and you're taking what he's doing and trying to add it to your boys.
Yes,
you got to continue to grow and adapt, but you got to stay firm in your foundation. I have said this 1,000 times. Your home is your home, right? Mm-hmm. You can change a room, knock a wall down, you can move the couch across here, but that foundation always stayed the same. Yeah. So you got to figure out how to build a strong foundation, keep it the same, but the house and the yard can change. You can cut a tree down, but keep everything where when you walk in, hey, this is my home. This is my home. So we're trying our best to do that.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you being here today. Like I said, we're here with Chief Pigskin at the online clinic, and looking forward to the content you give us today, and I know the rest of the state will as well. And we want to wish you best of luck on the rest of the year and the season and all that stuff coming forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Go Knights.